So Ian Carroll was saying something here. I kind of forget the point because I just had a cigarette, but I saved it here. So let's check this out.
Speech or action at all. You actually lose your 501c3 status if you fund a candidate or support a candidate or endorse a candidate or any of that, technically. So, how the fuck is Turning Point USA a 501c3 nonprofit that's not allowed to engage in political action when the entire thesis of Turning Point USA is political action?
That would be enough.
All right, you know why the people that don't follow rules and shit, patterns of behavior. Hello, they would be the Zits, the Zeke as I call them, or Z's for short, the Israz allies. So yeah, that would be they made Charlie Kirk, groomed him. He, small few people operation. You get some people in management or whatever in high places. It's just a handful of people. Even their security, yeah, because the meathead dudes are sold out, very easily, especially with money and everything, right? I got a big penis or a tiny penis, but I got a lot of money, you know. So yeah, that's why it's a 501c3, and they're because every other foreign agent needs to register except one, right? Except one, and otherwise they'll kill a president of yours, and they'll kill a person. Like it's always been about mind controlling the youth and everything. So they created someone like Charlie Kirk and got his what I suspect his Zionist wife handler, got him a hot wife and everything. And they're called upon to act when they're called upon to act. Otherwise, it's just like, look, you're going to play his wife for, a while, maybe to your death, because they do these things and they're very committed. They will have sex and have babies and marry targets, and Charlie was one. That's why they had that young kid that was like the Charlie Kirk replacement. Look, Charlie Kirk's audience, everyone follow this kid that we've fucking been grooming. Unknown to him, very likely. He's just been like brainwashed and groomed. Starting at like kindergarten or before, in like preschool, starting their little mind controls and everything and grooming. And MK Ultras and all that stuff. So they're 501c3, totally violating the shit because who's like is Roz hell violated 60 some odd international laws and no consequences. Yeah, you know why? Because they are the ones that don't follow any of the rules, and they get you all to follow the rules, and you're all scripted out. Haha, you can't do anything. La la la. They've been working for centuries. Just like good improves, on over the centuries, right? So evil does the same thing. So these aren't hard to understand concepts. They're like, they work generationally. What are you talking about, you crazy loon? And it's like, no, like, good does it too. The good, and you improve on, designs and also make shit more efficient, and yeah, so that's not a wackadoo, comment. But that's their number one go-to as well, because they gaslight. So their number one gaslight is, oh, you're just crazy, da 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 da. Your politicians doing nothing for the American people. That's just crazy, Obviously, your politicians should be serving another nation. It's like, what? So yeah, that's why it's a 501c3, because they don't play by the rules, but they do things to like jerk everyone off, and fitting the patterns of behavior, you can figure out pretty easily who it is, and they make all these. They are in charge of Hollywood, famously, right? So they do all their little Hollywood things all around, and Charlie Kirk was just one of them to affect the youth. That's why they quickly bought up TikTok, and Ben Shapiro just like days after, just like right away, he's like, we need to buy Turning Points USA. It's like, man, you were like totally dismissive during his last interview. Your body language was like you fucking already knew he was a dead man. You're just like, whatever, whatever, Charlie. You know? And yeah, they could totally kidnap people and give them amnesia. There was this one whistleblower, I forget the story, but there was this one whistleblower that ended up like a few states away. They found him after 20, 30 days. He wasn't gone that long, but it was like a few weeks. And they found him in a restaurant, like busting tables and waiting on them and shit. And he didn't have any recollection of his previous life. Like, they could do that. So that's why I really feel there was some Project Bluebeam testing, because they would do it in unlikely places, and they fake a lot of things. The 9/11 footage, the plane when it making impact with the building, it doesn't look like a plane like actually properly breaking up. It looks like it's animated. And I never saw the first plane, but they got all their Zionist people to call the families and to do their hive mind, rattling and shaking and magic spelling. You turn on the TV, you should check this out, because they had all their people ready to act, to manipulate the masses, and there's millions of these people around. They have a lot of people. When they say it's just 2%, it really feels like a zero should be added to that. But anyway, but yeah, so that's what they fucking do. And anyway, you guys take care. Peace the fuck out.